But how do you actually get like diagnose all these things? Because my understanding is because acupuncture is very common in Malaysia. I think in Asia is very common, but I've never actually heard of like how you did it, like all this emotional stuff and goes really, really deep about it. Because most acupuncturists in Asia, I would say, it's very focused into just back pain or I sprained my ankle or I'm having migraines, I just go and put needles. Most of them are like that, and the procedure is as we go in to the treatment room, it's a very fast process. Oh, I'm having pain here, my right side. Okay, then they would do the needling. Then how do you do it? Because you are specialized in the emotional part. How do you, how's the procedure like? I wonder. I think many
Well,
people
okay.
is
So,
actually thinking.
first of all, we need to differentiate between two levels of quality in acupuncture. So, when we talk about acupuncture, when we talk about anything really in this world, there's the generic term, and then there's the specific term. So, for example, if we talk about cars, do you have a car? Yeah, okay, I have a car. It means you can get from point A to point B faster than on foot. Okay, that's very generic. But
Yeah.
do you have a Rolls Royce or do you have a Honda Civic? Yeah, they're both cars, but they're very, very different, right? So similarly with acupuncture, we can talk about acupuncture being practiced on very different levels, right? So for example, when we talk about a sprained ankle or low back pain, we're talking about acupuncture that is, first of all, extremely effective, very immediate, and requires the least amount of knowledge necessary in acupuncture, right? So there are techniques when dealing with pain in acupuncture that are extremely high yield, meaning the number of hours you need to spend to train yourself to learn how to cure a back pain or a sprained ankle or any physical pain for that matter, disregarding headaches, which are a completely different thing, is very little compared to the high benefits that you get. So basically that creates a pressure in the market for people to learn these things. And because pain is so widespread,
And it's so easily identified.
yeah, and so easily identified. There is no economic pressure on people who learn how to deal with pain to learn deeper. Yeah, because you can have a practice fully centered on just treating and healing pain, and you're very successful. Yeah. So, for example, I'm also teaching acupuncture, and my students spend between 6 and 8 years in training. So they learn how to treat back pain in the first 6 months. Yeah. Whereas to learn how to treat anxiety and various, basically emotional level, they need to spend upwards of 6 years. So it's a complete different approach, different level of things. Yeah. Now the second one. So I was saying that there are two reasons. This is the first one. The second reason is also because in Asia, what happened, historically speaking, the emotional part was always part of acupuncture. So acupuncture has been around for an incredible amount of time. So we're talking about millennia here. Yeah. So it's been around for more than 2,000 years. And the emotional side and the spiritual side of acupuncture have been around since the very roots, right? So we're talking about Daoism. So in the emotional and spiritual roots of acupuncture are actually Taoist in nature. And that's pretty much the time when the acupuncture point names were actually pinned down, right? So the point names that anybody who practices acupuncture will learn are actually very evocative of the emotions, right? So, for example, let's take some examples, right? For example, heart 4, yeah, the acupuncture point heart 4 is called spirit path, shen dao. Yeah, so
Shen Dao.
yeah.
Okay.
The spirit path, it's a very clearly not physical point. Yeah, it's a very clear name for a spiritual.
Spirit.
So what does it mean? What does such a point do? Well, as the name implies, yeah, it helps you clarify what your path is. Yeah, it's completely non-religious. Yeah, we're not when we talk
Yeah,
about
actually, the name itself, when you translate to Mandarin, is Shen Dao. So if those who understand Mandarin would almost get the meaning, the point itself, it reflects to what it does.
Yeah. And so this is an example of a point that has a very clear direction on the spirit. Yeah. Then you have points which clearly go towards the mind. So, for example, gallbladder 24. Yeah, gallbladder 24. The Chinese name is Ru Yue. So it's sun and moon.
Oh, Ru Yuan.
So
yes.
The idea is, because unless you know the background, it doesn't tell you anything. Yeah, what is it, a calendar or what? You know, what is
Sun
it?
and moon is like, it represents a spiritual.
No, not quite. Well, actually, you know, the background for this point is that the gallbladder has to do with decisions, right? So when we talk about decisions, we are usually put in a place. So the gallbladder helps us to choose between A and B. Yeah, should I go or should I stay? Yeah, should I apply for that or shouldn't I apply? It's 1 or 0, A or B. Yeah, but the whole imbalance in the gallbladder channel can be that people can become too black and white. Yeah, this is good, that is bad, no gray areas. So the sun and moon, yeah, in a way they depict the dual reality of choice A or choice B, but because they actually talk about spirituality, because that's where it's heading, yeah, because the sun and moon actually refer to Wu Wei combination.
Yes, Wu Wei combination.
Quite spiritual. They actually refer to uniting the two eyes into one. So
wow.
Yeah, so it can be quite deep. Yeah, it can be quite deep. So therefore, you see things from a completely different perspective.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not so much of a question of black or white. It's more of a question of elevating your perspective so that the very question becomes different. Yeah, you can't ask black or white. It's neither black nor white. It's gray. Yeah.
Yes.
Green.
That's amazing. Like those who are into Chinese metaphysics, they definitely can relate this a lot. Like me, I'm a Chinese metaphysics student and I practice as well. So understanding from this perspective, if you know the roots of it, they are like related, the same grandparents.
Yeah.